Let's cut it right there, Buttercup. Your beginning game is strong, your mid game kind of starting to drift, and let's just quit before you lose the point entirely for your end game.
I can tell you right now, pal, these hands have broken bonds.
Well, howdy, Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Hokey smokes, my second day taking Straterra, and already I may have to stop taking Straterra. One of the side effects of it is it can raise your blood pressure. I've been having troubles bringing my blood pressure back down to a more normal level. I took my blood pressure this morning 2 hours after I had taken Straterra, and it was 150/90. Not horrible, but definitely not good. So I went and took half of one of my guanfacines. So hopefully I'm not going to get super tired from that, because one of the side effects is tiredness, sleepiness. Yay. But I want to try and bring my blood pressure down a little bit. Of course, after I had taken it, I decided, I better check and make sure that there's no interactions between those two meds, because sometimes you take two meds, it can kill you. Especially if you're taking something that can affect your heart. Luckily, though, things turned out okay. And of course, front loading of videos, yay! If you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that too would be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, that would be very, very cool. I try my best to push through my executive dysfunction and answer as many as I can. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons, these literally beautiful and literally awesome people that are literally beautiful and literally awesome. They help to keep me and my pets alive. While my pets cannot speak and thank you, I can thank you for them. These are beautiful, awesome people, greatly appreciated for your help. If you'd like to help me out and become a patron, there are links in the video description. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, there are links to my PayPal. If you'd like to help me out without sending money, there is an Amazon wishlist link. If you could check that out, that'd be cool. Front loading of video over. Oy vey. So yeah, blood pressure's up. Not good. On the other hand, oh my God, what a difference. Yesterday, my brain was working closer to it had while I was on Ritalin. Now, my brain, here's quote unquote normal, on a graph like this is how your normal brain should work. I got like to here on Ritalin. I was right around there on Straterra yesterday. Now, normally my ADHD brain is like right here, so it ain't good. As I told my therapist, the proper way to look at my life, and he agreed thoroughly, is not, well, why didn't you do more? It's, my God, how did you survive this long with all of this stacked against you? And yeah, so, I like having ADHD meds in me. Yesterday, I wasn't time blind in the slightest. I did fall asleep a couple times, like 4 or 5 times during the entirety of the day. Usually, before I fall asleep, I get drifty on time, and then I'm drifty afterwards where I can't remember or think properly as I get back up to running fully. There was none of that. When I nodded out, I was just, okay, I'm going to be doing this. I'm feeling a bit on the tired side. I'm going to watch this video. Boom. Half hour later, I'd go, oh, I was out. I better start editing a video, and then just immediately leap into work. So even though I would fall asleep for a half hour, the effects were, boom, gone. Yesterday, a minute took a minute, all day, till I went to bed that night. Things were starting to change because, it had been about 18 hours since I'd had any of the med, but hokey smokes. What a difference. Again, not being time blind. And then when I was out on walkies, just to test it, I just wanted to think about one subject, and I did. Utokk, and the various things that happened with Utokk and the King and Crimson. I was able to maintain, with no effort, that train of thought during the entire walk. And not only that, I'm able to maintain that thought during interruptions, things that would have broken my concentration and lost me entirely. I just went, oh wow, that was pretty weird. Now, Utokk's gonna do this. I could think, I could remember, I could concentrate. Yeah, I'll take extra meds to control my blood pressure so that I can think like a normal person. Oh my God, it is literally the difference between night and day. Without this stuff, without anything to make my brain work even halfway normal, it is torture. This is, oh, I will do whatever I have to give me a powerful blood pressure med so that I can bring that down, so that I can think and feel and concentrate and remember. I can feel human. Oh my God. So yeah, there was even a mental difference where I was scrolling through my Steam games list and I got down to Dying Light. I was only able to finish the game Dead Island because that was during the time I was taking Ritalin. I can't think like that. During the entire time I have been off meds, I have been bouncing, playing the little bits of games here and there, just back to my normal stuff. I was looking at Dying Light and thinking, maybe it's time to start this one. Because I could feel that I could do it and concentrate and remember. Oh, I love it. So I wanted to say that. Also, is a minor thing on the whole political thing going on here in the United States. It's not good. I'm fully expecting things to collapse soon. There is one person on the right. There's this Madison Cawthorn person. Now, the attacks on this fellow, I don't like the person, but I also don't like ad hominem attacks, or just outing somebody for whatever their sexual desires might be. As long as you're not hurting anybody, it doesn't matter. And he's lost his bid for re-election. Problem is, of course, he's still a government official, an elected government official, and he's tweeting out and talking to people and going to rallies and saying it's time for dark MAGA to fully come out and be in the forefront. And if you filter results from just before this sort of him talking and back about a year, and you take a look at what dark MAGA is, it's just plain straight out flat fascism. He's just telling his people, get up, be violent, we need to overthrow the government. So that's special. Yay. The only current events I would like to talk about, because everything else is just too freaking horrific. I did talk to my therapist about other things, and here I'm going to be going on to the whole creative part where I'm speaking of the whole inside outside razor's edge thing, and then jumping back to other things as well, because I'm kind of still unfocused right now. I'm having the ability to think without any of the discipline that I had built up prior. So I am only 500 ping pong balls in a wind tunnel, and I'm able to follow trains of thought, but there's still wild tangents that I'm following, so my sincere apologies on that. But let's see if I can remember what I was talking about. Yes, I was telling my therapist about the positive character arc about Utokk, where Utokk, this horrific nightmarish being, of course, who's having a character arc from always running at its first sign of a threat to developing a personality and coming under a spine and saying, I'm not going to run anymore, I'm going to stand up for myself. And yet that's the functional still equivalent of, I like eating human beings, I'm going to continue eating human beings, no one is going to run me off, I'm going to stay here and eat human beings until I've eaten them all, or I die of old age trying. But yeah, that is a positive character arc, because what is a positive outcome for you may be a negative outcome for everybody else around you. Utokk's is a bit more extreme, but yeah, it's still a positive character arc. Thumbs up for that. Now, one of the things that I was thinking about a lot, because I was thinking, again, trying to just stick with Utokk and the King in Crimson and all that. There is an interaction that I've partly talked about where the King in Crimson is trying to contact Utokk because they've been having lack of communication, and what the communication they have, watching parts of the Association of Sovereign Free States collapse inward and go dark, and they've not known what's happening. And then they've had these little signs show up around their outer edges where obviously people who are trying to be stealthy, their tech is interacting in a negative fashion with the King in Crimson's tech, and so instead of going into camo, it goes interference pattern like a beacon. And then when they see people coming to investigate, the beacons turn off, and when they get there, a very, very little sign of who was there. So there's evidence that somebody's watching, and probably not in a good way. And so they do contact Utokk to try and, well, a couple reasons, because as the King in Crimson, is first off starts with just some sarcasm, and I was able to come up with, and I've got it written down here, where Utokk is an edgelord, a total douche canoe, of course. But the King in Crimson is coming back with sarcasm, and the Utokk is just, oh please, oh mighty king, please stop right there. What are you doing? Sarcasm and irony against me? What are you doing? Why are you attempting to lower yourself to my level? You're better than this. This attempt simply tarnishes your image, diminishes you in my eyes, but what should I expect? It's not like I expect to be taken as an equal. But at least I was hoping for a little respect, for you to just throw me a bone. I do expect more from you, O mighty king. And yeah, just dripping with all sorts of such, at which point the King in Crimson has a moment of lowered head and thought and replies back with something along the lines of, yes, you are correct. I have not been giving this situation the respect that it desires, and not the respect that it desires, the respect that it requires. There we go. And I shall rectify that for my second point. And for the second point, oh fuck you and your weaselly words and manipulation. Oh my God. Taking everything that you're doing and flipping it around at me, and then not only turning the table, but flipping the table over. There's so much projection. I accept, with smart as you are, I expect that was done deliberately as well. I have respect, at which point Utokk, who as soon as that happened just was a half smile and leaning backward in their chair to enjoy listening to the king, at which point when they get to I have it, he says, let's cut it right there, Buttercup. Your beginning game is strong, your mid game kind of starting to drift, and let's just quit before you lose the point entirely for your end game. Thank you. You do have a spine. And you have shown you do like to play. So what can I do for you, O mighty king? At which point the king says, of course, I wanted to contact you 2 reasons. First one, I'm quite sure is pointless. Second is I'm questioning my own sanity. first point is there, things are collapsing, at which point, Utokk would say, I am feeling gracious. Yes, a week and a half ago, there were some soldiers and advanced scouts that came through, and they came into my domain with ideas of conquest and not peaceful immigration. I am not defenseless. I did take care of these soldiers. And I am telling you this, number one, to show you I am not defenseless. And number two, I just wanted to let you know that I'm being gracious because even now, I still feel very well fed. And so, yes, he's giving information because they are dangerous. At which point, the King in Crimson makes the second point. And the second reason I wanted to contact you is I would be happier if you did not exist. But that's stated. Even so, my housemates are up and yelling, so I'm getting a little distracted. That I wish you did not exist. But even so, as one powerful being to another, Utokk, be careful. We do not understand these people or their technology, and they are easy to underestimate because of that. A fatal blow can be struck from those who are underestimated. Utokk, be careful. At which point Utokk just stares for like 20 seconds, and then their only reply is, I shall endeavor to do my best. Stares for another 10 seconds, and then just stands, walks over to the phone where the connection is, and then turns it off. From Utokk's point of view, they're not quite sure what to do. They're following what feels right because there are no peers, there are no guides. He's having to learn maturity on his own, their own. And being told, be careful, with actual care by someone, it felt right to bite off every nasty, mocking, weaselly phrase. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. It's not much, but however many there are, thank you so very, very much. It is greatly appreciated. If I mispronounce your username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count in American Sign Language, well, meds are good, but not perfect. We have Zach Campbell. Good to see you in comments, and thank you very, very much. Cocos, thank you. Greatly appreciated. Jesse Koskinen, always good to see you in the comments. Thank you. We have Cataclysm, greatly appreciated. Justina Lightbringer. It's a silly quest. You have to do what you can with every game. There's Liam Stevens, thumbs up. Eric Southard, greatly appreciated. Wasabi covered nuts. Thank you so very much for your comments. It is appreciated. Psycho Jazz, kitties are wonderful. I love them. And Ben B, greatly appreciated. We have Lucas, thumbs up. Yuki_Usagi, thumbs up and thank you. Ice Damon, rain is good. Oh, let's hope you get some. And that is it. 12 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. And outside there are vehicles driving by. Trash picker upper car truck things. So if you hear noise, that's what that is. But thank you, each and every person who left me comments. Again, the out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, definitely a thumbs up. I'm going to try and make some phone calls. Hopefully you can get done what you would like to do. If you can't, don't beat yourself up. Survival is important, and really, nothing matters. Remember, positive nihilism, nothing matters. Yay! And of course, the Covfefe bug in the United States is really starting to surge right now. Nobody's using mandates, of course, but the CDC is saying, please use a mask if you're indoors with people. Don't throw your body onto the corpse pile needlessly. Take care of yourself and others. Mask, distance, vax, booster, be smart. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and I, quite frankly, do think that is a very good idea.